I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Anya Acheron joins us. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself for everybody.
Oh my god. Hello, I am Anya Acheron. Hi. You probably saw me on Reddit, which I'm surprisingly kind of there on a lot. Always tend to be on the first page just a little bit. I recently debuted, so you probably saw me on Twitter or on Twitch or YouTube.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And congratulations on all of that.
Thank you. It's been a roller coaster.
Yeah. How long has this been in the making?
Well, I've been preparing since like October. I kind of had like a rush debut.
Yeah.
And so I didn't expect it to kind of do as well as it did. So I'm still reeling from everything. I've literally been like preparing like since like the 1st of November.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's borne fruit, hasn't it? I mean, it's done
It has.
more than you thought it would.
Yeah, way more. So much more. Because, like, my idea, I was just like, oh, this is going to be, like, a rushed promo and, like, debut and things like that. So, like, no one's going to show up. Or, like, no one's going to have time for it since I didn't, like... Because you know how most debuts, like, they plan, like, a month in advance. Like, they start teasing it months before.
Right.
I had 15 days. And so... I was just like, oh man, no one's gonna show, like, everything's gonna bomb and everything, but everything did, like, really well, especially, like, on Reddit. I got, like, 30 viewers on my debut, and I was just like,
Yeah, I don't hear a lot of folks in my interviews here talking about Reddit as a source for this.
Yeah.
I think you're the first person to bring up doing this on Reddit. And I'm going to ask you about the differences in that in a little bit. But first of all, I need to know why you started VTubing in the first place.
Well, I started VTubing purely out of spite. Because I have a little nephew, and, like, he loves watching streamers. And so, like, in my head, I thought it was, like, it will be the most funniest thing ever if I somehow became, like, a big streamer. And, like, at the time, VTubing wasn't popular. So, like, seeing VTubers is like, oh my god, that's kind of cringe. You know a VTuber?
Right.
And so, like, in my head, I was just like, I'm gonna become a big VTuber, so that way, like, when he tells his friends, like, oh, my aunt streams, I'll just be like, oh, what's her streams? They have to see that, like, I'm a VTuber. He would have to say, oh, she's a VTuber.
So spite and jealousy. That's a good way to get started.
Yeah.
started many a war. Yes.
And it keeps the lantern burning.
That's right. Keeps that fire burning red hot.
Yeah.
Well, once you got started, though, I mean, once you got the idea in your head, did it come together pretty quickly? I mean, did you have everything you thought you wanted to?
Stop and go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was pretty stop and go. Like, I had some ideas at first. I was just like, oh, this would be a really cool idea. Then I ended up scrapping it, and then, like, I got into a few places, a few opportunities, and then I started to grow my brand, and I was just like, oh, shit, like, I kind of moved away from, like, my spite motivation.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, this is actually pretty cool.
Well, spite.
Like, this is, I'm enjoying myself.
Well, spite only lasts a little while. It's a good spike to get started, and then you have to have the want to, and I mean, I can hear you smiling from here, so.
Yeah.
obviously you're enjoying yourself. Is there any specific part of VTubing that you enjoy that keeps bringing you back?
I really love the creativity of it, and like obviously VTubing is like a field with like arts and animation and things like that.
Right.
And like that's things that I truly really do love so much. And like seeing people get like creative like with live 2D or like with 3D models, I'm just like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's one thing too. I mean, me being basically an audio guy for my entire life, but seeing the animation come together and the expressivity of a lot of people's models is really beyond belief. Some folks it's more expressive in the face. Some folks it's the 3D modeling stuff that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And if you were interested in that sort of thing, it'll draw you in very quickly.
It would. It truly does.
Yeah. So are you an artiste?
I am a struggling artiste. I do a few things here and there. I dabble, but I'm not really like a master at
Mm,
any of the trades. But
mm,
like I do a little art. I tried animation.
mm.
Oh my God, my heart goes out to every single animator of everything I've ever watched. Oh my God, it's so hard.
It's like, okay, I've tried it now.
Yeah, because at first I was thinking, I was just like, how hard can it be? You're just drawing images in a row
Yeah.
until I realized how many images you have to draw for like 1 second.
Oh yeah.
I did like a 1 second animation. I was just like, never again, never again.
And that was exactly 1 second long. And
Yeah,
but for you, it was an
I gave up.
eternity.
And it's just like, oh, this is gonna take forever. I don't like it. It's not turning out how I want. And I'm,
Yeah.
I'm quitting.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine? And you did that online, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Can you imagine what they were doing back in the 40s with drawing it every single time? And
My God,
ah, and
the skills.
reusing cells and all this sort of thing to try to get it. I am amazed that they were able to do anything like that back then.
Bro, hats off to them. I tried, I failed. Hats off to them. Oh my God.
And still, you still watch some of those films, especially the Warner Brothers ones back then,
Yeah,
and the animation is still amazing. Uh,
truly, like the skills and dedication for it all.
yeah,
My God.
yeah. I mean, people can use, the computerized stuff and that dreaded word that starts with A and ends in I, um,
Eh,
to do things, but there's just a flow to something that's drawn out, frame by
yeah,
frame that you can't capture that way.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do love it. This is the reason why I kind of like old Disney films.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, oh my God, something about the old Disney films. They're so good.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because that's yes. Have you seen the videos where they show where Disney reused scenes?
Yeah, I did.
What
I honestly,
what do you think of that?
it's smart
Eh,
reusing scenes,
yeah,
especially like in terms of like animation and things like that.
yeah,
It saves time,
mm, yeah,
especially like if it's not like a situation where the scene needs to change all the time. Like I can understand like reusing the same background
right.
to like save time and things like that because it can get very time consuming if you had to redraw it every
Oh,
single time.
oh yeah,
So like
yeah,
I do see.
yeah, and it's something everybody grows up watching a few Disney films, no matter where you're at. You're living in a
Yeah.
cave or you're living on Mars. Um, the and then you don't realize that until somebody points it out. That's how
Mm-hmm.
like this Cinderella one was used in Snow White.
Yeah,
It's the exact
it's
same
one of the
thing.
things like if you're watching it as a kid, you're not paying attention.
No, 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 no. I mean it's pretty incredible. I'm going off on a complete tangent here because I want to talk about what you're doing here. But I just think that's a really interesting thing to talk about. The
It is.
So what do you like to draw?
I like to draw horror things. I like to draw things that are cute but also creepy and slightly unsettling.
So you're drawing Chucky dolls.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Chucky so much. Bro, I love that little doll.
So it is. Are they characters that you make up on your own, or are they characters that people would know? Are they?
It's a little bit of both. It's a
Yeah,
little bit of both.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you get the inspiration from? Just sitting in the dark?
I get I get my inspo at least like when I'm drawing horror and things like that. I tend to get it from video games that tend to scare me. So are video games that I like. So like things like Silent Hill or
Mm,
Outlast. I get my inspo from them. Yeah.
mm. Oh, so those are the type of games that you play online?
It is. It is. I'm in the midst of playing Outlast like right now for
Oh,
streams. I it's so scary.
it is. It scares me, and I'm an old man. And I mean, of course, I mean, I grew up with and played games when I was younger that didn't have nearly the scare factor that games do now.
Mm.
A jump scare on a Commodore 64 still takes about 15 minutes to load. It's not so much
Not 15 minutes.
it's not like a jump scare. It's more like a slight hop scare.
Oh no.
Oh, that was bad. uh,
Oh no.
yeah,
It's loading.
it's not quite as graphic either. Lots of pixels.
Yeah.
But the so what brings you to you just like being scared off?
I do. I
Right.
do. I like being scared even though I'm a coward on stream.
Well,
And
I
I'm
mean,
such a coward, but I love being a coward.
yeah. Well, the folks are tuning in for it. I mean, they're there and watching it. Is when
Yeah, we it's like a cycle of us just being cowards and telling us to not be cowards.
yes, you
It's
got
a
this.
vicious cycle.
We're right behind you, and you turn around and everybody's gone.
Yeah. They tell me to go inside one room, but they completely abandon me when I go in.
Oops, door's locked. We'll leave them there. the so when you're playing with one of these games online or any of the games play online,
Hmm.
involving chat in a game like that,
Yeah.
is it tougher when you've got a jump scare type game, or is it tougher when you've got a game that plays for the long con scare?
I think it's slightly tougher when it's like a jump scare
Mm.
based thing because I think my chat if they're watching this right now I think they know is that like when it's like a jump scare game like such as like Outlast which you know like the characters are jumping out at you they're
Oh yeah.
grabbing you they're chasing you
Hmm.
I tend to be a little mean towards chat and so like they kind of know like when it's that like atmosphere like oh yeah Anya she's probably gonna curse at us or something like that
Have you
it's
got
like that they already know.
have you got like a growl meter or something?
It's just like it just turns into like my chat just being like, "Oh, Anya, you should try the exit," and me just being like, "Oh wow, I totally didn't think of the thing that I'm going to do." It's just like, "Oh my God, thank you so much, Captain Obvious."
Start bonking with an idiot stick all the way down.
Yeah, but my chat, I like that we have like the dynamic of like the bullying, just like slightly teasing.
Yeah,
Sometimes like I'm bullying them, most of the time they're bullying me.
yeah. It's like the sibling relationship more than anything
Yeah.
else. But it's good to see that you have that type of interaction with the chat,
Hmm.
and a lot of folks would really throw their left pinky out there for a interaction like that. Did that come quick and easy
Yeah.
for you to do?
It did. It surprisingly did because like I have these interactions like with in real life friends as well.
Uh huh.
And so kind of like transferring that attitude towards streaming, it was really easy. And I've been told that I'm really bullyable, so that helped.
I get this feeling that someone that you'd be someone to bring along to a haunted house and have in the front, and everybody's like,
At
eh,
the front.
something would jump out, and you turn around, and everybody would catch you and put you back up front
Oh my God. I am the first to run.
again. The first caught
I
and
am
said
the first.
thrown back into the fire.
Uh, I'm the sacrificial lamb. Uh,
Well, it seems like you've got really the personality for this. I mean, it's it very engaging person
I tried.
and seemingly very positive and fun to talk to. So
Thank you.
so what is that something you wanted to do? Did you wanted to interact with people like that, or did that come secondary?
I mean, at first, I feel like if I say this, no one's gonna believe this, but I used to be someone who like hated talking to people, right?
Yeah.
Like when I would talk to someone, I would like give like one word answers because I just didn't like talking to people. But
Oh.
like with streaming, I was just like, oh yeah, I could yap freely about any topic that I want. This is awesome.
Does
And then like as it started, I started to like talking to people a little bit more, and
Mm.
then like a little bit more hyper, which is like my natural personality. I'm always just like bouncing all over the place. And so like streaming allows me to channel that and be like, oh, I can be hyper here.
Yeah. And does having the model help that?
It does. It does so much. I find like my friend and I, we were just talking about it. It's like because she has a model too.
Uh-huh.
And we're just like whenever we have our models on screen, it just makes us want to yap more. We just want to keep talking.
Is it, so is it just more comfortable for you to have that little bit of screen between yourself and the and people that you have never met?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely.
Mm.
Like, oh my God, it's such a comfort.
I mean, you're not really hiding behind it, but it's just like yeah. People have explained it to me before as you get to be you and not you at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. Because, like, I was talking to my friend about this as well. We were just like, we love VTubing because it's like, we don't really kind of care if people like say like anything bad or anything like weird
Yeah,
about us because there's kind of like this disconnect, you know? It's kind of just
yeah,
like, you're not really talking about me as a person
right.
as much as you're talking about like Anya Acheron, the character, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I did talk radio for a long, long time, and I know that eventually someone will find the right button to push because
Yeah,
they'll keep trying until they hit it.
people are like that.
I'm trying to envision how you react to something like that, and I can't because you're such a bubbly person. so so
I mean, I had moments.
yeah, yeah. But if it has happened to you, how do you handle that?
I mean, for like most of my time, like I've always been like a weird kid, you know? So
Well,
like having people just be like, oh, oh, like if they're just like, oh yeah, Anya's so weird. The streams are so weird. Oh my God, so weird. I'm just like, okay, and buddy, you can't call me anything that I haven't heard my whole entire life.
yeah, yeah.
Like nothing you can say will be new to me, bro.
Mm. But, I mean, how did you develop this personality? I mean, is this every day on you? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I kind of became this way because of my dad.
oh,
Because he would always be like, whenever like I was a kid or anything upset me, he'll be like, can you change it? And I'll be like, no. He was like, can you fix it right now? I'm just like, no. He's like, does it impact you in any way besides like having your feelings hurt? I'm just like, no. He's like, does it hurt you? I'm just like, no. And he's like, so why worry about it? I'm just like, you're right, Chief.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
That's some wisdom right there.
yeah. It would, but that would just make me even madder.
It does in the moment. It
Yes.
does in the moment, like when he's asking you, you're just like, can't you see I'm in distress? And then like afterwards, like you think on it, you're just like, oh shit, he
Yeah,
kind of was right.
yeah. It's like, oh, boy, that was a big waste of mad.
Yeah,
I could have used that on something
just like
else.
damn, he was right. I can't change the outcome. Oh, damn.
So, I mean, you say you started this out of, you know, kind of spite and you know, wanted to do something for your family member, but
Yeah,
it really does seem like it's right in your wheelhouse here.
it does. It does.
It
It started off from spite, but then it quickly just changed into something that I want to do.
yeah, I mean, it really it's like if I went and just said, you know, if a VTuber would need to have this, and this, you're pretty much checking every box here.
Oh my God, I'm so glad.
Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, it seems like it would. This is was waiting for you to show up.
Oh my God. The amount of times I've heard something similar to that,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, guys, you don't know how many like times I dropped the ball with this.
Well, I mean, but this is the thing. I don't. I just from the you know, and we've talked to each other for what about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's
J-
been 20 minutes. Oh my God.
just from that little time, I could realize that you know you can have something go on, but you're going to keep going.
Yeah.
it
That's pretty much it.
you might stub your toe, but you'll let out a scream and keep going.
I'll give her a little ah.
Hop around a little bit and then go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Because I've been around this planet for many, 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 many years, and I haven't figured it out.
I mean, I would say a large part of like my attitude is just, I don't know how this may sound, but it's just not caring.
Well, I mean, there's
it,
there's a lot to be said for that.
yeah, it's just learning like not to care because like in a sense like I live by like the motto like I saw it on the internet once. It was like meant as like a meme or a joke, but it was something just like I may be cringe, but I am free. And so it's kind of just been me living like that. Like, oh man, I don't care if people think it's like cringe or anything like that. Like, I'm gonna do it regardless. It makes me happy, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Oh, I envy you that. I envy you that. And really, that is such a great attitude to take, and I'm glad to see that you've got success coming out of it, and
Mhm.
and again, it just seems like a perfect fit for you. Now, I want to talk about this Reddit thing.
Yeah.
So, how I don't hear about people streaming and doing things on Reddit. It does it happen very
Mm.
often?
It's not necessarily like streams. It's more so like it. I would say this Reddit is a an amazing place to promote yourself.
Uh,
Oh my God, it's so good.
yeah, yeah. So
It's
so how do you do this? How do you do this?
I would say Reddit is more so like meme culture. Like if you're really good at like making jokes or just like interacting with your audience,
Mhm.
like all you really need to do is like post a photo of your model and just being like, "Oh guys, well what anime would you guys see me in?" and things like that. And like the engagement, the interaction, it's honestly so amazing. Like, oh my God.
Well, yeah,
Because
people will have their opinions, yes,
yeah,
and
pretty much because I started Reddit because like I've always used Reddit.
yeah,
But like I never really used it for promoting myself. I just used it to like to read other people's stories and like the gossip and their like little drama and like their lives and stuff like that.
yeah.
And so I was just like I was thinking to myself and I was just like, you know what? What if I do use Reddit to promote myself? Like what would happen? Like if it flops, okay, that's fine. I have other platforms, but like what happens? Why not take the risk? And I did. And I think like my second post, I was like on like the front page of like the VTuber subreddit.
Whoa.
And like I just messaged all my friends. I was like, hey yo, I'm on top of the VTuber subreddit right now. Go look, go look. And like they all looked and they were like, Anya, what the fuck? And I'm just like, I don't know. And like I kept doing it and I just kept getting like engagement and like success from it, at least like what I deem to be
Well,
success.
yeah,
It's a pretty nice good portion.
yeah.
And I was just like, man, Reddit is so good. And I'm telling like all my friends who like do beats, I'm just like, you guys get on Reddit. Like, oh my God, get on Reddit.
Yeah, well, we do have a lot of VTubers that listen to these interviews, so
Yeah, get on Reddit, guys.
yeah, I mean, that's really something. All this time, I haven't heard anybody talk about using it
Hmm.
to kind of keep your brand out there, and 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 it's all marketing. I mean, really,
Yeah.
it's marketing, but it's also a new area to get out there and get an audience to, and since you're posting
Hmm.
it directly into the Reddit for VTubers, your audience, you're posting it to your potential audience.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like the VTubers subreddits, not only is it filled like with VTubers in there, I would say from the portion that I've seen, VTubers make up like it's like a 50-50
Hmm.
of people who are VTubers and people who watch VTubers. And so like by posting in Reddit, you hit like that fan base of people who like watch like agency VTubers, like those amazing people out there.
Yeah.
And like they take a chance and like they watch you as an indie and the next thing you know like you're hitting goals at like record speed and you're just like what the fuck,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
what is happening, and it's like all because of Reddit, bro.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll get you. It starts because of Reddit, but
Yeah.
once they get there and they come back, it's because of you.
Mm. Fair, that is true.
So don't sell yourself any short here. I mean, it's very much people can watch people play a certain game on a few different channels at once, but
Hmm.
it's the personality that brings them back. And
Yeah.
they're putting their schedules out there to come back and watch you. How does that strike
Hmm.
you? I mean, when you realize that someone is writing in your name, your personality in it, something that they're used to, and they're putting it as a daily thing in their life.
It's so bizarre. I am so grateful for it because it gave me so many opportunities, so many learning like blah 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 English, please. So many learning opportunities and like things to grow from, things to learn, and like it's so amazing knowing that you have like this growing community and like I'll have people come and chat and they'll just be like, oh, Anya, I told my friend about you, and now like you hit your goal of like 500. I'm just like, what the fuck, guys? What? Like that's so insane. Of like people like I've had like people in like chat or stuff like they call me like they're Oshi, and I'm just like I I never thought like I would be like big enough or like like I hit that bar to be like somebody's like Oshi,
Yeah,
especially like when there's like agency VTubers around. I'm just like I'm just a small little indie.
yeah,
But like you guys are calling me your Oshi. Like thank you so much.
yeah. But I mean, okay, this might not sound right, but you're larger than life.
I try.
I mean, seriously. I mean, uh, in just talking with you, your personality just leaps out there, and it really does show, and it's very obvious how much you enjoy this. Um,
It's so fun.
yeah. How outside of the computer, how has this
Mhm.
affected you in your daily activities? I mean, has it made you even more open? Has it changed your outlook on how you interact with people?
Oh, 100%.
Mm.
100%. Because like now, I find myself more open to
Hmm.
talking with people because I'm no longer that shy little kid I used to be. you know?
Yeah.
And so I find myself talking to people because I realized as I like stepped further into my like I don't care, I'm cringe and free like attitude. I realized that we're all weird in some way or another. Like we all have our hobbies like we're kind of like shy to tell other people about and like
Mm.
things like that. And like we all have something that we do like we're kind of just like, oh, I wonder what other people like might think. And so like kind of like letting go of like worrying about other people, it kind of helped me. It might sound weird, but like it kind of helped me see other people as like human in a sense because like and then I like when you don't think of like other people or like when you're worried too much about what they think of you,
Mm.
I find like you kind of become like self-absorbed in a way, like you think like everything's about you and like
Mm.
everyone's looking at you and things like that, so like you're kind of worried about you all the time.
Right.
But when you learn like, oh no, everybody has like their own things, like they're not even worried about me. Like if I speak to someone, they're not gonna be like, oh my god, Anya Acheron, the Twitch anime VTuber, that's you. Like no, they're probably just gonna look at me and be like, oh yeah, that's the kid from my science class. like like they're not gonna care.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of just like, oh, well, if they don't really care about me, who am I like to give like judgment on like what they do and things like that. So
Yeah.
it kind of helped me out a little bit with that.
Well, it's you've kind of described obtaining empathy there, where really,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth because now you're looking. It looks like you start looking at things through other people's eyes a bit.
Yeah. Because like at first I was like this kid that was just like, oh god, everyone's staring at me right now. Where's my mom? I don't want to talk to anyone. Where's my mom? They're all thinking about me. They all think I'm weird. But now I'm just like, oh man, who cares if I'm weird?
Yeah, I mean,
Just like, it's fine.
yeah, there's a lot to be said for that, and the quicker you let the water go off your back, the drier you'll be in the end,
Yeah.
and it's a great attitude to have, but it's also, I mean, it's tough to keep up 24/7. Um,
Hmm.
and is it tough for you to keep up 24/7?
I mean, at first it was. I did have moments of like where I slipped back and I'm just like, oh, man, I probably shouldn't do like that stream or post that content because like people might think it's weird, you know? No one wants to hear about like me rambling about forensics, you know? And so I finally kind of like pushed past that to like now being in a permanent state of just being like, so what?
Yeah.
If it flops, so what? I tried.
Yeah, I mean, people got other options. They can do other
Yeah,
things, but I want to talk about actually forensics is very interesting. But
it is.
I mean, I mean, my wife and I used to watch all the CIS and all that stuff, CSI stuff.
I love those
Yeah,
shows.
and it always would get me, especially the Miami one for some reason, is that
Oh my God, that one so good.
they pull up in the car and somebody will be eaten by a snake or something, and and they're like, and suddenly all these computer things pop up. First of all, folks,
Yeah,
that's not what happens in real life.
it's not.
No, but they get all this stuff. Well, this person's DNA shows that they were born in this particular day. It does not show that. but
It's so bizarre.
but the fact that there's a lot of things it does show in real life, and there's
Mm.
a lot of things that go along with it. I'm tangenting right out on you on this stuff,
You're
but
good, you're good. I like this tangent.
yeah, but here's the thing: you're very easy to talk to like this, and you talk about being a person who give like one interview or one word answers to questions. For an
Yeah.
interviewer, they just want to throw things at you when you do that. And
It was wild.
so so this would you say that this has allowed you to express yourself more confidently?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm. And that makes a lot of difference too. I mean, some folks can go out there and maybe one time, um, you know, show themselves out one time, and then come back and go, okay, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
I tried it, wasn't good, or it was good, but I can't. I mean, I have
Mhm.
stage fright sometimes, and I don't like heights, and might climb a ladder once, but you ain't getting me up there again. It's. Um, have you always been this way?
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like at first I had like the idea in my head. I was just like, if I stream, like my first ever stream, I was like, if I do this, like even if it pops off, if I don't like it, I'm out of here.
Mm.
Just like I'm kicking the curb, I'm leaving. But then I did it, and then I was just like, oh my God, I like no one knows this, but like for like my first debut ever, like my first ever stream, I was a kid, and so my mom was in the room, like in the corner, just being like, "You're doing great."
you're, you're doing fine, honey. Just keep going. Everything is
Yeah.
fine.
I told her how old was I? I think I was like 17 at the time.
Oh,
And so we had like this little like hand swimmer where she'll like hold up like a thumb or like put like the thumb down like if I was doing bad or good. Of course the whole entire time she had her thumb up even if I was like doing horrible.
yes.
And so
Yes.
I
You
was just like, yeah.
accidentally shut it down 6 or 7 times in a row, and mom's still in the corner. You're doing great, kid. Just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the type of
But
support we
like
all need.
yeah, that was what I needed at first, like to get used to everything. I needed like that endless support, and like now, of course, like I'm older. I'm just like I've been doing it on my own for a little bit, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And so obviously, when you started, you wouldn't think that you already said that you're far ahead of what you thought you'd be at
Oh,
this
a
point.
hundred percent.
So has that reset your goals? And what are your goals right now?
Okay. My goals and like reaching them has been insane. I've always thought of myself to be somewhat, I would like to say, a realistic dreamer.
Mm.
Okay, like I know I'm not gonna hit like a million in like a month, but I want to try for at least 500.
Mm. Yeah.
Something like that. And so when I first debuted as Anya Acheron, because before I wasn't Anya Acheron. This was a very public rebrand.
Hmm. Yep.
But when I debuted as Anya Acheron, I expected to hit around because I think I was like at like 280, I believe.
Hmm.
Like I expected to hit, possibly like 300 and like that was gonna be it.
Right.
But then like I before it even debuted, I was at 350. And I
Mm.
was just like, I the pressure, it's building. And then I'm panicking. And then like I debut, I hit 400.
Yeah.
And then like last stream I hit 500.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, this is way rapid growth than I like obviously prepared for.
This is
Because like in my mind, I was just like, oh, 350, that's the goal. But
yeah.
no, I passed it. I'm just like,
Yeah. It,
guys,
it's starting to roll down hill now,
yeah,
and you're chasing it
it's
down.
starting to snowball.
Yeah. But I just get this feeling that you're gonna eat this right up, and
I tried.
it's gonna keep going for you because you're absolutely wonderful to talk with, and I'm very very
Thank
glad
you.
to have met you, and I want to see where the Anya Express is going to keep going here because I think there's a lot of stuff coming for you in the future, and
I hope.
yeah, yeah, and stay tuned. I'm gonna put all the links that we've been able to find for Anya
My
on
links,
all the links.
my all of my socials.
Yes, we're gonna have that in the description. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
say is keep an eye out for things happening for Anya very soon. Is
Yeah,
that
a lot of big things.
yeah is that cryptic enough for everybody? Yes.
Very much so.
Yes.
Keep the mystery.
Will Batman succumb to same
Batman!
same Anya time, same Anya channel? Thank you so much for coming on. I it's an absolute joy to talk with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.